Ketu in 6th house. Ketu in 6th house can be a very frustrating placement. That's because the 6th house is the house of past life debts. It's the house of struggles. It's the house of routine. It's the house of responsibilities. It's the house of things breaking apart. It's the house of healing. And when you have Ketu in the 6th house, a very, very important part of your soul's pending karma is to heal. And this can be difficult. It can be difficult because you see, Ketu is forward momentum being carried on from previous lifetimes. Ketu basically stands for that aspect of your soul's development which is still caught up in some way in the momentum of what it has been engaging in previous lifetimes. So in this lifetime as well, these people bring forth a lot of responsibility, a lot of this karma of having to heal people around them, having to take care, having to shoulder responsibility, having to struggle, having to work hard for things, having to heal through their health problems. There's a lot of that you will see with Ketu in the 6th house. But Ketu in the 6th house, quite often you will see with individuals, famous individuals who have this placement, can show an individual who started working early in life. Best example is Johnny Depp and Marilyn Monroe. They started working pretty early in their life. And so quite often people with this placement will find themselves working early in life to pay off some debt, let's say, of the family, or to shoulder some responsibility within the family. Now, the catch is, these individuals, they just somehow land up in whatever their first career is. For example, you look at people who have Ketu in the 6th house, these will be a wide variety of careers that you will find people in. These could be people who are, let's say, in the army, posted abroad. These could be people who are, let's say, working as accountants, working in their family business, working in, let's say, the fitness field. And you ask them, how did you land this role? And they're going to tell you that, nothing, we needed a job. Somebody said, the army is hiring. We filled up a form. We got a great job. We thought, okay, let's do this for a while. It'll pay for our college also later on, etc., etc. And we took that opportunity. Or you might ask a person, let's say, who has Ketu in the 6th house, how did you end up being a model? Nothing. There were, auditions being held. We needed work. We just showed up. We got that assignment, and that's what we've been doing. But how satisfied are you with what you're doing? Well, it's okay. We want to do something different. Why is that? Why is it that quite often people who have Ketu in the 6th, if you ask these people, at least early on in their life, they will tell you that they have different aspirations for their life. They had a different plan for their life that they discovered only after this automatic plan sort of kicked in for them. That's because Rahu in the 12th has a lot of say in this placement. This is why I'm doing this series addressing Ketu through the houses separately and Rahu through the houses separately. Why? Because although they are part of the same axis, Ketu placement wherever it is in the chart tells you that, look, this is a natural expertise that your soul has carried from the previous lifetimes. And this is an area where you do not really have to think about it, you're naturally good at it. This will naturally keep showing up in your life. If you fixate on it, it's going to start going bad. And Rahu shows you, look, this is an area that you need to start going towards. And if you just go towards it, things are going to start happening for you that you like. So with Ketu in the 6th house, if you fixate too much, if you nitpick your job, if you nitpick your work, if you cry about your responsibilities, if you cry about, oh my God, I'm so sick with what I have been given in terms of having to take care of all of these people around me. Why the hell do I have to do it? It will keep getting worse. And I know it sucks because a lot of trauma also comes with this placement. It's quite possible that the responsibility that you had to bear in your life that has left a huge mark on your mind has been caring for a single, let's say, alcoholic, abusive parent. You couldn't let them go because they were all you had. You couldn't make it work with them because they were a mess. And so you were somehow caught up in a situation where you had to take care of an individual who is not executing even their basic responsibilities as an adult, and you are having to become the adult as a teenager. So yes, in that respect, it's really frustrating. But guess what? Ketu in 6th house, it also shows you that, look, life is cause and effect. Life is karma. Karma has a huge influence in this placement. That's because Ketu in the 6th house definitely shows that, look, everything that you're going through, it's all karma that you need to burn. And so no matter how difficult or tough life looks or it seems, you have to start looking at work. You have to start looking at the work that needs to be done to sustain life as rent that needs to be paid for this flesh body that the soul needs to undergo its lessons of development. You here on this planet, you have to work. You can't help it. Even if you go and live in the forest, you have to work there. You have to chop wood. You have to build a shelter. You have to fight off predators. And if you hurt yourself, you have to find a way to heal yourself. That is there. Okay, now quite often what can happen in this placement is the individual can get quite overwhelmed with the responsibilities that they have, because you see, Ketu, wherever he sits in your chart, that's the place where you will naturally fall into those things. It's like you still hungover on the past ways of doing things. So Ketu and 6th house people, they will naturally find themselves in circumstances where they're taking up so much of the burden of other people. This can be, let's say, an individual who got married and everybody was telling them, you should get married. It's about time you got married. And they thought, okay, maybe let's just get married. They got married and boom, suddenly he has 3 kids. He has a wife that he has to take care of. There's a lot more responsibility than this person had imagined. And then recession hits, and then you got to take care of that, and then you got to take care of everything. So the perspective, what he was thinking when he got into this situation, this individual, and what reality is, it's completely different. And so in the 6th house, what it also does is it can make you an individual who avoids conflict at all costs. Why? Because you're sick of it. You want to outgrow it. And so instead of addressing issues, you just express the Rahu in 12th aspect of this axis in haphazard manners. It could be that instead of talking about the difficulties that you're facing in executing your role as part of the family with your spouse, you just decide to, shut up, start drinking. Put a lot of distance between you and your spouse, you and the rest of the family. You start gambling, you start just running from your responsibilities. In some cases, it can even lead to an individual who abandons their family and completely, moves away and starts a new family. I'm not saying for everybody, obviously, don't give me hate. I'm just saying that in some nakshatras, in some placements, it can be that. Because if you're not working with the influences in a constructive manner, you may end up expressing these influences in an unhealthy manner. And that sucks, because Ketu in the 6th house shows that you cannot outrun your karma. If karma has followed you from one lifetime to the next one, this sure as hell means you cannot outrun it. So let's say, if you abandon your family and you move away and you start a new family, what will happen is, probably wouldn't happen for someone else, but in your case, you will end up being abandoned by that family. Or let's say you ran away from a particular place because you owed a lot of debt to those people. What will happen? You move to a different place, and over there, the people who owe you money take it and run away. Let's say you brought a pet home and you thought, okay, I want to care for this pet. I want. Let's say it's a dog. I want to care for this dog. I want to train this dog, and this dog is going to be this and that. Great guard dog. You have all of these great ideas that you want to execute without an understanding of what kind of responsibilities come with it. And you're thinking, I'll be able to do it. But then just as you do that, you realize, my God, this is a lot more than I had bargained for. And so let's say you decide to abandon that animal, or let's say you give it to somebody else. What will happen is this karma is not going to go away. With Ketu, what happens is, the reason Ketu is so hard to read, Ketu can throw those results into your face, irrespective of whether it's his time period or not, irrespective of whether it's being activated by a transit or not, irrespective of whether you are in that time period of the antardasha or pratyantardasha of Ketu or not. Ketu will suddenly, bam, show you those results. So karma is there. You abandoned a pet, you abandoned somebody who was reliant on you to take care of them. Guess what? You will be put in a situation where you will have to care for somebody that you do not want to care for. Or you will be put into a situation where, let's say, you finally get another pet later on in life that you really love, that you end up losing. I know it sucks. A lot of the influences of this axis sucks. That's why I was actually, in fact, thinking about the right way to go about making this video. But bottom line that you need to understand with this placement is, karma, if it's real, it's also real in terms of the right things. If you're taking care of somebody, if you're taking care of individuals, if you're doing what you're doing well, if you're executing what is being demanded of you in the material plane, guess what? You will be rewarded with indulgences. You will be rewarded with spiritual development. You will be rewarded with downloads, spiritual downloads, having a vision about life that somebody else steps in and helps you reach. So this Ketu in the 6th, he can be like, after all, Ketu rejects where he sits. So this Ketu in the 6th can very well be like, okay, I know you've been doing a lot that you don't want to do. I know that you've been burdened by responsibility. Let me send some help your way to help you take care of these difficulties, these challenges. And so out of the blue, you're going to find help in the form of some good individual who helps you take care of these struggles that you're going through, who helps you, let's say, take care of the conflicts that you have to resolve, debt, whatever problems you have to take care of, okay? But there is a very strong theme here with this placement of having to heal. Because Ketu is a very spiritual planet, which in fact signifies spiritual development, moksha, but also healing. Ketu is deeply associated with healing. Both of the nodes are, in fact, but Ketu is associated with magical powers of healing. And so Ketu in the 6th shows that you are here to learn how to heal yourself, your karma, your family lineage. You are here to put a break in all of the things that have been done wrong in your family lineage, heal society, take care of individuals around you. And in doing that, you are basically accumulating the points. You are accumulating positive karma that will help you create that vision, create that imagination that you have for your life. Ketu in the 6th house is telling you that, look, you have been blessed with a natural understanding of how to pick up slack, of how to show up, of how to put in the necessary work, of how to struggle. You may not want to, but you have acquired these strengths through previous lifetimes. Use it to realize your vision. Use it to develop your vision, shown by Rahu in the 12th. If you're already struggling, if you're already working hard, if you're already picking up slack, if you're already encountering, dealing with and mastering conflict, put all of this to use in a direction that is of your choosing. Let go of the box that people have put you in, that circumstances in life has put you in, and reach out to the vastness of possibilities that life has to give you. Ketu in the 6th house, quite often this is why it shows actors, entertainers. That's because Ketu in the 6th house, in fact it can also show, by the way, politicians, businessmen. That's because Ketu in the 6th house shows, if I'm not mistaken, Mukesh Ambani, great Indian businessman, he has Ketu in the 6th house. The reason that you will often see that a lot of great actors and great businessmen have this placement is because through reinventing yourself, putting in the work to reinvent yourself, build a new name for yourself, build a new identity for yourself, define your identity, create a new life for yourself. It's through that your soul will be able to fulfill its purpose in this lifetime. Your life purpose, your destiny, your soul's mission is to take all of the lessons, all of the positive karma through all of this struggle and apply it in a direction that you can naturally imagine you want, you wish to receive. A lot of people say that Ketu in 6th house placement, it's bad for material life. That's not the case. Sure, you have Rahu in the 12th, but Rahu in the 12th is only going to manifest in terms of losses if you are not conscious with the energy. If you are stuck with Ketu in the 6th house, and instead of trying to think innovatively, instead of trying to work smart, instead of accepting that maybe there is a different way of doing things, if you're just fussing about how to do these things, you will never get them done. So that's just my analysis of Ketu in the 6th house. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to this channel so that you can stay abreast of all the wonderful content that I post here, and push the bell icon so that you can be notified every single time I post. Guys, also, if you want to read articles across 8 different categories ranging from self-help, self-improvement, Vedic astrology, occult, yoga, nutrition, business, entrepreneurship, please do check out the Coach Counsel magazine. I write over there, including my team, bringing to you some of the best articles across topics of wellness and self-improvement that I often see that you guys ask me in my sessions with you. Okay, so do give that a check out and follow our blog as well if you like it. And if you want a personal session with me, please follow the link given here in the description box. It's going to take you to my website. You'll have to fill up a form. As soon as I get it, I want to come back to you with date and time, and then we can move it forward. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. Hari Om.